Hello everybody. I've just decided if I'm going to do these videos, everything might not always be perfectly clean or straightened. And you know that those of you that know me know that's real hard for me. But I decided, so y'all will just have to learn to kind of get used to me and all my ways. I decided my sweet neighbor gave me some Merritt corn, and I am so excited because if you plant a garden, you know you can't buy that anymore. And she had some in her freezer, so I'm going to try to dry some. Let me get what I did and show y'all. I took some, I read on Google that you could take some and pull it up, and I got me several of them. I did like this, and tie it and dry it. Now it said that you needed to hang it in a warm place, not too hot, but you don't want it in the cool. I guess it don't dry as fast if you do it in the cool or whatever. But I don't have a place really that's not too hot or too cold. It's burning up outside, and if you hang it in the shed and if you bring it inside, it's cool. So we're going to just kind of work with this and see. But I really hope that I get to have some seeds to plant for next year. So this is the first time I've ever done this with anything. I hadn't kind of experimented with that. But we're going to see how it works out. What I decided today that I would show you, she gave me a 5-gallon bucket full. And my mother, this is her knife. I watched her my entire life use this knife for everything. She cut potatoes with it, and it's a big old long knife, so you would think it, but it's real light. But we didn't have one of those corn things. Now I do, and I do use mine outside, but I decided that I would do this inside and just show y'all. She always pulled it to her like this, and then she would take it and run it backwards. Now, one of the things that I've learned in canning all these years is that it's awesome for your husband to be there, or a man, a son, a boy, somebody that's got more muscles than I do all the time. But Tommy always pulls the corn, and he shucks it for me, and then I silk it. I mean, I do help shuck, but it's a lot. It goes much faster when you got a man there helping you. And he boils it. We do it outside on our cooker, and he boils it for us. We put it in an ice chest, run cold water over it, let it cool, and then when you cut it off, or if you're gonna bag it as just the whole ear, when he cools it down and we cut it off, you don't have to bake it in the oven or cook it or anything anymore like that. It's done. So what I did, because I didn't have, like 400 ears like we did the other day, I just boiled this in one of my dish pans. And when I got through, I let it sit. And you don't boil it a real long time. You just get your water real hot and make sure everything's covered, and flip it around sometime if the top ones didn't get enough. And then I poured the hot water off and poured immediately cold water in there. And I did that a couple of times. You don't want to leave it not in water because it kind of makes your kernels sink in, and it's not as good. But couple of people had asked me about some canning videos. So that's why I decided while I was doing this corn, I would just make this video and share it with y'all. Now, what I do, I'm putting that over here in the wrong bowl. I've been making salsa. So that's something else I'm going to show y'all. Sometime this afternoon, I'm going to make some salsa, and I'm going to video and show you how I make my salsa. I've experimented with that for so many years, and it hadn't, they ate it, but it, to me, was not the best. This year, it's good. So, I'll share that with y'all after a while. But with this corn, you're going to do your knife back this way. You do need a sharp knife. You just have to be careful. And my mama could just fly through doing it, and it just looked so easy to me. But And the more you do it, the easier it gets. And I'm not doing it real fast right now because it's been a while. I use my little cutter, my little corn cutter, when we're outside. But you kind of, it's according to, when you do corn, if you want a whole kernel corn, you're going to cut deeper into the cob. But you don't want to go too deep because you don't want that cob part coming into your corn. But then when you get through cutting it, you're going to just run your knife backwards on it, and it gets the juicy part out. Now, I like to do corn. Oh, I got to scratch my eye. I like to do corn in the frying pan. And I like some whole kernel corn, and to do it in the frying pan, you can put your little onion and pepper in there, a little butter. And y'all know I like to use a cast iron skillet. And I like mine that way, but Tommy don't. He likes his, you know, real juicy and in the oven, in a bowl, like in a Pyrex bowl. So sometimes I make him some like that, and then the next time I'll make, he don't say anything, but I know he does prefer it the other way. So when you get through cutting this off of the cob, you can just take you a pint-sized box. I like to can with the little pint boxes, and I hadn't actually even seen any more like I used to buy when years ago. Like, I don't know, I just had piles of them. And they were pints, or you can get them in quart size too. And you could put them in there and do that little top on them, and they just stack so good in the freezer. And I'm sure they probably got them somewhere, but I'm just saying, just like the ones that I used to get. But also, I've kind of gotten to where it's nice to be able to put them in the Ziploc bags. Make sure they're freezer, not just Ziploc bags. And put them, when you get them in there, make them spread flat, and then that makes them thinner, and it helps them to freeze faster. You never want to put corn in the freezer if it's still hot at all. It needs to be good and cool because corn will sour. You can't put it up. I had that happen one time. So those lessons are the hardest learned, but you don't forget them. So I just put my corn in bags if you don't have boxes. I've used up my boxes for this year. And you can label them, but you know, we have corn left over from last year. It's nice to know 2019 and 2020. So this corn that I'm cutting up now, and I'll show y'all. Well, let me see there. Okay. Tonight for supper, I plan to put some in a casserole dish. And I'm going to add probably a half a stick of butter. And you know, it's according to how much you put is how much butter you want to add. If you're making a bigger bowl, you're going to want to add a little bigger. I mean, corn's fattening to begin with. So you're going to want to add you a little more butter. And I can't remember actually who told me this, but to put a little sugar in your corn, and it is so good. Salt and pepper it. You don't want to put too much. You know, you can always taste it before you put it in the oven and taste if it's sweet enough or not sweet enough. You can always add, but you can't take away. So be sure that you don't put too much, but just a little bit. It kind of helps sweeten it. And I don't put milk in mine, but some people do put milk, a little milk in theirs. I guess if it's not quite juicy enough, you know, you could add a little milk to it and then just bake it, and it's so good. If you decide you want to do yours in a skillet, you just take you an iron skillet or whatever kind you want, and you kind of do it at a little bigger kernels, and put you some butter and a few peppers or onions in there with it, and you just kind of get your pan real hot, put your things in, and cook it, turn it down and cook it. You don't have to just cook it a long, long time. And make you some cornbread to go with it. And that's some good eating. So I'll be seeing y'all and be doing some more videos soon. Thank y'all so much. Bye-bye.